No One Will Save You, a sci-fi horror film that only has 5 spoken words of dialogue throughout its entire runtime.
I'm sorry, Bud. I'm sorry.
Yep, that's it. That's the dialogue. So, was it any good? Let's find out. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Film Archives, where I break down movies. That way I can answer the question for you, was it worth watching? I upload new videos every week, so consider subscribing to the channel for more movie-related stuff. But with that out of the way, let's just get into the video. We are introduced to a young girl by the name of Brynn, who lives alone in her house that is situated in a forest of a small town. She's sewing clothes, and she has a small model town that she is building. We also see that most of the town just seems to ignore her, and they don't speak to her. Remember this, because it will come into play later. I guess she owns like an online Etsy store where she makes her own clothes and she sells them, because we see her shipping off some of the clothes that she was making earlier, and we get a pretty funny scene of the mailman doing a Kobe with her Amazon package.
Kobe!
We also see her writing a letter to a girl named Maud, who we will learn more about later in the movie. We also learn that Brynn's mother has passed away, so it would appear that she is the last member of her ninja clan. Later that night, while she's asleep, we suddenly see all of her lights start turning on and off on their own, and she wakes up to discover that it seems like her power is out. We also see that an A. Lamau, an E.T., an alien, whatever you want to call it, it has broken into her home, and this is honestly terrifying, and the physical acting of this movie are top-notch. This movie easily keeps you entertained, even without the dialogue, so there's some really strong physical acting in this movie. We see the alien make super scary sounds, and we also get a shot of some of its toes, so we get some free feet pics. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'll be honest though, if I saw this alien in my house, I will dip, bro. I would dip. I don't want no part of that shit. Let me tell you something. I don't want no part of that. Let me know how you guys would react to an alien home invasion in the comments below, because I'm just so curious how people would respond to that. Would you go Ghost Adventure status and kill them with a samurai sword?
I grabbed a sword and I killed all 3 of them.
Top tier, top tier. Or would you also dip out and want no part of it? Let me know in the comments below. We see Brynn hide underneath her bed, and the alien seemingly jumps out the window using its creepy finger toes. Look at this. Creepy finger toes. It's insane. We then can hear the alien on top of her roof, and it basically starts messing with all the power in her home, and we see all of her electronics turn on and off, and it's very scary. We see Brynn attempt to make a call for help on the phone, but it seems that all of the electronics, including the phone, are no longer functional due to the alien interference. The aliens have like overpowered psychic abilities, and it's honestly not good. We see that the alien is able to control electricity and physical objects, and as Brynn is attempting to escape her house, we see the alien just rip the front door off the hinges, and it just flings it at her, and it's really brutal. The alien attempts to subdue her using its psychic abilities. We see Brynn grab a shard from the now broken model home that she was building, and she uses it in self-defense. She winds up stabbing the alien in the head, which winds up killing it. The next morning, we see Brynn cover the alien body with a blanket, and I'll be honest with you, like, brother, take some pictures, take some videos, do what you got to do, but then maybe burn or bury that motherfucker outside, you know what I mean? Literally anything, but leave it there. It's crazy. Quick note, the aliens in this movie look really cool, I'm not gonna lie, and having seen many aliens in real life myself, I can say that these are 100% accurate. Brynn then discovers that all of the electronic devices no longer work since the alien invaded her home, including her car. So she then decides she's going to take her bicycle into the town for help, where she soon discovers that the aliens have attacked her neighbors, and it's not good. The extraterrestrials have left what seem like crop circles in all of their yards. Brynn makes it into town, where she finds her way into the police station, and she runs into Maud's parents, who happen to be the chief of police and his wife. We see Maud's mother spit like super begrudgingly into Brynn's face, and it's just disgusting. Honestly. We then see Brynn with her next option, which is just flee the town. So we see her on the bus. As the bus drives, we see that pretty much all of the houses in town have very similar crop circles to her neighbors in their yard, which is very foreboding, and it can't be good. While she's on the bus, a few of the passengers attempt to restrain her, and we find out that they're actually being controlled by like alien parasites that are like placed in their throats. It's gnarly. Like, take a look at this. It's crazy. Honestly, that's crazy. As the infected passengers are attacking Brynn, the bus driver decides to just stop the bus, and he nopes the hell out of there. And while the bus is stopped, we see that Brynn makes her escape and just flees the bus. We then see Brynn make her way to a church, and she visits the grave of Maud, so it would appear that her best friend is actually passed away. It's very sad stuff. At the same time, we see a very scary cloud front roll in over the town, which seems to signal that there is a storm approaching. I am the storm that is approaching. It's pretty badass, honestly. It's really good. Like, the CGI is top. We then discover that many of the townspeople now appear to be under the alien parasite's control and are holding their hands towards the sky and the clouds, and I'm not gonna lie, this scene was really cool. Brynn returns home, where she then decides to fortify her house and arms herself with like a box cutter. And I don't know, I probably would have gotten like a big knife, but that's just me. What would you guys use to defend yourself against an alien invasion? A samurai sword? We find out that the aliens are able to just undo all of her fortifications using their psychic powers, and it's not good at all. We're talking Professor Xavier levels of psychic power, guys. Later that evening, a tractor beam from one of the flying saucers carries the alien's corpse out of Brynn's house, and she then confronts two more aliens. One of the aliens is actually really cute in a weird way, and it's like tiny, but it's pretty scary either way. The other alien seems more interested in her than hostile towards her. Both aliens wind up attacking Brynn, where we see that she winds up impaling the smaller one with a broken mop handle, and she manages to escape out the window. She's dragged by one of the parasite-controlled townsfolk to a bigger alien, and these aliens are insanely scary. Like, they have like huge spider legs, and they're giant as hell. Like, it's crazy. She attempts to escape and runs away from the long-legged alien. Eventually, the long-legged alien walks over Brynn's car, where it causes the gas tank to start leaking. So she uses the lighter and lights it on fire. And let's just say goodbye to this poor Subaru. After she lights the big alien on fire, she runs back into her house, where a tractor beam from one of the UFOs from outside of her house restrains her, and the other alien from earlier places a parasite in her mouth. It's fucking scary stuff, brother. Brynn then seemingly wakes up in her bed as if all is normal. Her best friend Maud is still alive, which we found out earlier has passed away, so she quickly realizes that this is all one big hallucination. We get the only lines of dialogue in the entire movie here, where she apologizes to Maud.
I'm sorry, Maud. I'm sorry.
Yep, that's it. That's the dialogue. We then see her pull the parasite from her mouth, breaking free of the hallucination, and she finds herself lying in a field. A flying saucer then arrives and transforms the parasite that she just pulled out of her mouth into like a clone of herself, and the clone pursues the real Brynn into the woods. This is some next level stuff, guys. Like, holy fucking shit, relax, guy. We then see a ton of UFOs over the town, so you already know the vibes, and we don't like these vibes. We don't like these vibes. The clone version of Brynn winds up catching her and winds up stabbing her in the stomach, but Brynn pulls out the box cutter that she armed herself with earlier and actually kills the clone, and it's like really sad. As the clone version of Brynn is dying, the real Brynn like shows her compassion, which is a nice touch. She's then sucked into a flying saucer, where she is like psychically probed by a bunch of aliens, and this is some real Travis Walton shit right here, guys, not even gonna lie. The aliens then force Brynn to relive some of her memories, and we discover the event that basically turned the entire town against her. When she was a young child, her and her friend Maud were in an argument. We see Maud push the young Brynn to the ground. In retaliation, Brynn grabs like a nearby rock and hits Maud over the head with it, and it winds up killing her. It's super sad. Not really sure how this little rock killed her, but yeah, that's the reason no one in the town talks to her, and the reason that the mother and the chief of police basically despise her. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe move away if people hate you this much and aren't willing to forgive and like move on, but that's just me. That's just me. We also learned that Brynn has been writing letters to Maud ever since the incident and has never stopped. Brynn holds her younger self's hand in a forgiving matter. So to speak, it wasn't her fault, and she's kind of forgiven herself. Like, it was an accident, and, she didn't mean to kill Maud. So it would appear that, she's forgiving herself for all of the guilt and the trauma. After she relives her memories, we then see the group of aliens appear to converse with one another. They seem to agree that she's suffered enough, and that they don't want to continue to cause her any more suffering, which is, it's a nice touch. We get this really cool scene here where they all kind of look up at like I don't know, this weird eye shape. They then decide to return Brynn, and she wakes up on a deserted road, you know, unharmed, and she's like free of their influence and all that. It's really nice, actually. We then see that Brynn has decided to rebuild her home, and we discover that the other residents actually still remain under the control of all the alien parasites. And they're all actually super nice to her, and Brynn has overcome her trauma, so she's now living a normal life. She dances with the residents who are under the control of the parasites, and they're all friends. It's a little bizarre. We then zoom out and we see that there are like numerous flying saucers, and they're pretty much as far as the eye can see. And yeah, that's the way the movie ends. It's pretty cool. Honestly, I really enjoy this movie. By the time it finished, it really had me thinking, is there deeper meaning to some of this? Is there beauty in suffering? Is this bag the most beautiful thing I have ever seen? Why did the aliens choose to be friends with her? What did it all mean? Was the movie worth watching? I would say yes. If you are a fan of sci-fi thrillers and sci-fi horror movies, you're really going to enjoy this. Or if you just like movies that really leave you kind of thinking about the plot by the end of it, then I would say definitely give this movie a watch. All right, that will do it for this video. If you liked the video, please leave it a like. I would really appreciate it. And consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. But until next time, peace!
Fuck what you say, fuck what you heard. Let me tell you about a movie that's only got 5 spoken words.
I'm so sorry, Maud. I'm so sorry.